I mean, to the west of me, South Dakota's really diverse agriculture: milo, millet, sunflowers, peas, flax, barley,
Yeah.
wheat, canola, corn, soybeans, obviously. So that's what I really like about corn and soybeans get so much attention, and I guess that's what people need to come up and don't stay there, but just come and look. That there's more out there than just row crops.
We're back with another episode of the Agriculture Podcast, and today we're joined by Casey Briggs, Zack Moen, and Barret Brown. So, got a fun episode for y'all today, and we don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to get on here and ramble.
Yeah,
So, anybody want to start out?
I can ramble. Well, this is my first time in Western Kentucky.
So, what do you think about Western Kentucky so far?
A lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
Yeah, we're still a lot of forest here.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty claustrophobic.
I guarantee you.
It's kind of like, so we went to Western New York, fall 22?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like Western New York. So we were like 9 miles away, and I felt like it took 20 minutes to wind on back in here.
Yeah. You surprised by the amount of people here?
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, because we were coming down and he'd start Googling, well, what's the population of this? What's the population of this? I'm like, there ain't nothing under 100,000 around here.
No,
Yeah.
no, everything you run into on the interstate is just solid people.
Because I come from a town of 70 people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I-29 is kind of the line.
Yeah.
That's where the population really blows up.
Do you have this type of growth in Texas?
Yeah, in spots. Lubbock's exploding.
Big.
I don't believe it. Brownfield's 25, 30 miles from Lubbock, and I saw a deal a few years ago that said by 2050 they'll be touching.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know that I believe that, but
I can see it.
it's getting bad. I don't know. We were talking about it on the drive down this morning. I don't know where all these people are coming from, but I wish they'd go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really amazing. Like here in we've always had a significant population here, but since COVID, we're getting the coastal people, that are moving here. Like just the neighbor, that White House that's just here when y'all pulled in, that was bought by a set from California.
Yeah.
And guy from Delaware. I think 7 families from California last year just into this little town here.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
We've had quite an influx too since COVID, like double population growth from what is normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're pouring everybody into Minneapolis and Twin Cities up by us. So
Yeah.
I think the sign by Montevideo where I'm at is 136 miles, but it seems like it gets closer and closer. It's just sprawling out.
Yeah.
It seems like the suburb gets growing out another mile every year.
Right. And I'm far enough away from pretty much everything that I'm not too worried about urban sprawl. But
Yeah.
boy, I don't know how you guys do it down here.
Population growth not coming to South Dakota yet.
Yeah, they're not moving to my county anyway. Sioux Falls and the Black Hills are.
I was hoping the spring we had last year was going to run a bunch of them off. Just sand blowing every day.
And I was hoping last winter would scare them out, but
They don't go outside.
they're still sticking around. They don't have to blow their own snow to get to the highway. That's the thing. Yep.
They're not worried about that sand. They're just living in their house.
Right.
But you can have a brand new house. It'll still get through the windows.
Will it?
Yeah.
I was down there. I was down at your place last March, and so you
Yeah, I went with you. Yep.
But we were driving to Barrett's, and Bryce was taking us through some little neighborhood outside of Lubbock, and Buddy had like 8-foot sand drifts, like snow drifts like we'd get in front of our garage door, and he was out with a little John Deere loader tractor, pushing that stuff out of the way. The sand had all blown up into his driveway. So I don't know. So in Texas, you probably never want to face your house to the north, huh?
It doesn't matter.
What's your prevailing wind?
West, southwest.
Okay.
But you can get a good winter northern coming through, and it'll blow sand out in the north too. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I always want to take my snowblower down there, see if I could blow the
Yeah,
sand.
you're supposed to last year.
Yeah.
We're going to test it out. See if we can move sand.
See if it moves.
I haven't put a single hour on it this year.
No,
This winter, no.
not
and
enough snow.
I put 120 hours on it last year, blowing snow.
Big difference.
Yeah, huge difference in the winter. Yep.
Yeah, so we got hired to do some snow removal on county roads and township roads last year with our blower and our backhoe and stuff, just to open up for people to get in and out.
Yep.
So it was well blown in and seemed like a wind switch every other day. So it'd blow it from the left side of the road to the right side of the road to the north side to the south side.
That was the worst part. Some days it wouldn't even snow; it would just blow it back in.
Just trade snow.
Yeah.
Trading snow,
Probably
trading
move,
blades.
move the same snow 15 times. Yep.
Hey guys, Clayton here. I'm interrupting your podcast right now to tell you about my media company, Atlas Media Solutions, that makes this podcast possible, as well as all the Denton Farms media happen. So I'm going to play a quick ad real quick that I put together. It doesn't really explain that much, but it does sound pretty cool. So I'm going to let you guys listen to that, and afterwards I'll explain to you what the business is all about. Spend enough time on the internet these days, you start to realize there's a lot of people who don't really understand where their food comes from, what's going on. I figured, hey, rather than complaining about this problem that I feel like the agriculture industry is facing, I should do something to fix it. My name is Clayton Lind. The purpose of this business is to do one thing: serve agriculture. Thanks for listening to that, guys. I won't spend too much time explaining what Atlas Media Solutions is, but Atlas Media Solutions is my media marketing company that 100% exists just to serve agriculture. A lot of my time is spent on the road or on a plane, traveling around the country, producing high quality media material for different ag businesses. And so if you guys want to learn more, please feel free to check out our website or follow me on Instagram. But we just wanted to kind of plug this to let you know that because of this business that I run, it allows all of this stuff with Neil and the YouTube channel to happen in the first place. And so as long as we are sponsor free, I will continue to tell you that this podcast is brought to you by Atlas Media Solutions, and we are proud to say that we are here 100% to serve agriculture. So that's spiel, guys. I'll let you get back to the podcast. Enjoy. Thanks.
I'd say less than half, but probably close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dryland cotton, is that on the dry land, is that the predominant crop?
Yeah, cotton, and you might see some milo or stuff like that. But yeah, cotton is our main cash crop on dry land, and it is still the main cash crop on irrigated too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of peanuts. Some guys have been doing corn here and there the last 10 years or so, but
On the irrigated, I guess.
yeah. But it's still mostly cotton country.
Yeah. We've got cotton in the boot hill here, close, you know. But I only know of one crop that's was raised over here just a mile or so from this place in my lifetime. One cotton crop.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do if I was raising cotton where it rained.
And that's the, they said that this cotton was 4-bale cotton, and it rained it out of the bowl.
Wow.
It strung it out. I mean, it was like all winter. It was the biggest mess I've ever seen.
My first year to farm my own ground was 2010, and about August, I couldn't understand why guys my dad's age weren't retired on a lake or in the mountains somewhere. Growing cotton was the easiest thing I'd ever done, and on October 21st, I had every dime I could put in it. I'd spent my operating note. I had borrowed some money from Dad because I just kept pushing, and on October 21st, I was about a week away from stripping. We got held out, and I couldn't get to my place, but I watched Dad's cotton run out of the field. In a place we were halfway through stripping when that storm hit, ginned over 4 bales, and then the stuff, that same field after the hail, ginned less than a bale.
Oh, man. Mother Nature can be brutal.
Yeah. So I learned real quick while they weren't all retired.
Yeah.
Sitting in a vacation home somewhere.
Yeah, it's because the market takes if it's not Mother Nature, it's the market taking a
Yeah,
dump
but
on us.
then because that happened, the market went through the roof.
Yeah,
they were selling
of course.
$1.50 cotton. And
Always when the market's the strongest is when we have the least to sell.
You can never hit the trifecta.
That's right.
Yeah. Good crops, good prices, and a good weather year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Never
like
happens.
once in 20 years.
Yeah.
Everybody goes out and buys a boat and a camper and a lake house, and
Right.
and then they're back to reality the next year selling it.
Right. Yeah. Need some capital.
Yeah.
Get rid of some stuff. Yep. So
What about y'all up there I guess you're predominantly in the corn and soybean.
Yeah,
region.
we're corn and soybean. Our land prices and cash rent prices basically edge out most of the other small grains.
Yeah.
Wheat's just not viable around us.
Yeah.
It's more cover crop or put on for a lot of guys put wheat on if a quarter wants to go to tile. They want to tile in August. They'll
Yeah.
put wheat, take it. They'll take the wheat at a loss basically. but
Right.
predominantly corn, soybeans. So
Yeah.
a few guys doing. We're right on the edge of sugar beet country.
Yeah.
So further east of me is a lot of sugar beets. So we're on 22-inch rows where we're at, just in sugar beets, same thing. So we narrowed up rows. Oh, it's got to be pushing 30 years now since we've been 30-inch. And we were 30-inch rigid till. So we'd go in and do that before, but everything got so big for equipment wise that ridge till didn't really work out good. So
Yeah.
but now it's high speed planters, 60-foot planters.
Yeah.
So 45-foot heads. Everybody's just trying to get done.
Yeah.
So
I guess the
Got to
co-
get back to the lake.
yeah,
Yeah.
Get back to the lake. And yeah, everybody from my area that they all have a secondary house down in like Arizona.
Yeah.
So they'll come up here and harvest, then they'll all go down there, and it's basically that they're with their neighbors from up here again. So
Yeah.
everybody's in the same cul-de-sac.
Yeah, the same community. They just
Yeah.
migrate.
Yeah, different.
AAA, man. April, August, Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the consequences in your area not getting the crop out is then you're in mud.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mud, ice,
Yeah.
cold conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of times we can fight snow in October. We had that one year where it was October 8th and we got like 8 or 9 inches. And then we still had most of the corn crop in. A lot of the tillage left. So you want to be done within about a month
Yeah.
of starting.
Yeah.
So,
Here in Kentucky, that's not an option.
Yeah.
Just because of the way we're set up here, like everybody runs small fleets compared to the amount of ground they have because we have such a large window to plant and harvest into.
oh yeah.
Really nice weather most of the time. We're pretty moderate temperatures. We never swing. I mean, we can get pretty hot, and like for 1 week a year, we get cold.
Yep.
But most of the time, we're in that moderate window of, we do get some of the cold fronts coming, but never as cold as what y'all get, and we get some of the warm fronts coming, but never as warm as what like Barret gets.
Yeah. Well, even like corn, we start in April on corn. If it's grayed off enough, you're still planting on frost.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. Yeah. We do some silly things up in the north.
yeah.
People scratch their heads. They look at a lot of guys will come look at our line of equipment and they'll think that you probably farm double the acres. And it's like, no, sometimes we only have 4 days to get this much done.
Yeah.
So you just got to go. But,
yeah, totally different ball game than in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
There's a lot of 60-foot planters up there that are only doing like 1,200 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like just the yield drop, like from May 1st to May 20 is substantial.
Right.
So, I mean, the earlier you can get in, the faster you can get done.
Yeah, it
the
makes-
more uniformity you have. so.
I mean, it makes sense to equip yourself the way that you're going to make the most money.
yeah. And the equipment, switch over on equipment follows the market so much. You have a good year, everybody's upgrading and doing that and spending less time in the field and being more productive. So,
Right.
But it's,
I'm just trying to figure out how to work less weekends. So I just keep buying more stuff, So
Yeah.
5 day a week. That's what we're going to now.
I always give Casey crap. He's got 3 planters for the less amount of acres that we plant. And I'm like, why you need all 3 planters? We do everything with 1 over here. He's like, well, you're backwards. I'm like, ah.
Well, I also grow poverty grass. It's a staple in my rotation. And I'm also expanding into sunflowers this year.
I was just about to ask if you
Yeah.
got it into sunflowers in your area.
Yeah, so I mean, to the west of me, South Dakota's really diverse agriculture: milo, millet, sunflowers, peas, flax, barley,
Yeah.
wheat, canola, corn, soybeans, obviously. So that's what I really like about corn and soybeans get so much attention, and I guess that's what people need to come up and don't stay there, but just come and look. That there's more out there than just row crops.
Yeah,
but,
it is neat when you go
Yeah.
through that area to see all the diversity.
but yeah, so I'll do a quarter of flowers this year, kind of see how it goes. Be just oilseed production.
Yeah.
And I guess my ultimate goal with it is to get into the confectionery market.
Yeah.
Try to find a niche. And part of that is just because of the downturn in the
Sure.
economy, lower input crop, higher
Yep.
potential for net profit, and just a little bit less risk on some of it. You're just not fronting so much money. So
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping that works. And then it'd be nice to have kind of a deep-rooted legume to go down and mine some nutrients.
Yeah.
So-
I was watching on one of the, I don't know which social it was, but it was last fall, and they were harvesting some of the sunflowers with
Mm-hmm.
Mexicans by hand or whatever. And I thought that was, I didn't know what they were, I never saw an explanation of what they
So they're just cutting them all by hand.
were cutting them and then,
Really?
spiking the head like we spike tobacco.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was it at? Do you know?
It was in South Dakota.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was like an organic type of harvest that they were doing. That's kind of was my thinking on it.
Were they like fully ripe?
They're
mature?
yeah, it's humongous heads too.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know if they were confections or oils?
I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't ever see an explanation of it, but
I saw the same video
Yeah.
not too long ago, and there was
Really?
no explanation to it.
Yeah, the same here. I was fascinated by it. You know, it looked exactly like what I remember us doing tobacco like. You
Really?
know? Yeah.
Huh. That's wild. I've never seen that, I guess. But and you know, a lot of sunflowers in South Dakota are confections, I guess. I mean, that's probably 50-50, but
Yeah.
but there's a lot of food grade.
Food grade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With tobacco, if you're not familiar with tobacco, once it's starting to cure in the field, there's a couple different ways. Some of the southern growers prime it where they lay out on their back on like a crawler and they strip the leaf and they put it in a basket, you know, and then they carry the basket to the barn.
Yep.
Here in our geography, we always cut it and then you'd carry a wooden stake and drive the plant down on the wood stake, and then you'd put them in about 5 plants go on a stake, and then you put them in a like a shock type, where a tripod where three would lean against each other, and it cures in the field about a day, and you hang it in the barn.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be something to see.
And when I was watching those Mexicans, they were driving those heads down on that. They cut the flower stalk at an angle and drive the head down on the stalk.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. It reminded you of that.
Yeah, it reminded me of those days.
We'll have to find that and see if we can do a little investigating and figure out what's going on there.
Yeah, I was interested in it. I was like, what are they doing out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the organic guys, they hire the field workers for doing the weeding and stuff like that, but I've never seen them actually harvest by hand.
Yeah.
So they're usually running a machine through it.
Yeah.
Because we got a guy, actually a buddy of mine that works for him as a full-time hand. He's organic, and I want to say they're starting to make a transition to 60-inch rows and doing the interseeding.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think they're doing sunflowers too, but they're harvesting with a machine.
They plant like a cover crop between the rows. Is that what?
Yeah, they're doing stuff like that, and then they're flaming early on the corn.
Yeah.
They're building their own flamers up there too out of the shops, so it's a pretty neat setup they got going on.
Yeah.
So
Those organic guys, man, they bust their butt
hats off to them on some of the stuff that they
No
put themselves
doubt.
through.
for sure. I mean,
So-
I watch that Fears Farming Organic all the time on social media or whatever, and it seems like they've always making a pass out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of like you.
Yeah. Cotton
Not
farm.
like me, but there is a lot of organic peanuts and corn around us down there, and cotton. But
Yeah.
it seems like those tractors are running every day, all day,
Yeah.
going across that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the pigweed's bad in your geography.
Yes.
Yeah, it is here too.
Yeah.
We lost the ability to use dicamba possibly, and like our area is just totally loaded with palmer and water hemp, and I don't know. I mean, we would have. I think if we don't get the label back, it's going to be similar to organic farming here because we don't have any other option.
We did hear that maybe for another year you'll get to at least use your supplies.
That's kind of the way I saw that where they handed down the other day that like there's no new production that's going to happen at this point until a ruling happens, but that what's been made it to the distributor so far is going to get used.
Right. So hopefully that'll maybe buy you enough time to maybe get a label back.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping. I saw like on that ruling, it was a technicality, like they didn't leave the comment period open long enough or something. So it wasn't like it wasn't like they had done some testing and found out that, it was worse than they thought or anything like that. It was just ruled on a technicality.
Right.
So that's
Right.
unfortunate when you're talking about a big portion of the soybeans in the United
Oh, yeah.
States.
Right.
And cotton.
Yeah, and cotton. I know what we would do back home if we lost dicamba, but I don't know how much I want to get into it on this.
No,
Right.
It's not going to be pretty.
No, I said that's the unfortunate part of this is because we don't have any other options.
Yeah.
So you just got to do what you got to do.
We have another option, but it's not going to go well for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that option too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nuclear.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it'll be here too. You just don't have a choice. It's either that or lose your crop to the
Exactly.
weeds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We use we plant all on list, and so we use a lot of Liberty, and that works pretty well for us. But you get off the hill down in the valley and further west, it's all dicamba.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just because they're a little hotter, a little drier,
Sure.
And we were dicamba too, spraying, and then we had so many, claims and stuff coming in. We hire a custom guy to do our spraying because we just don't want to deal with the headache.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting a couple citations from the state, and we just went on list. And,
Yeah.
But it's weird too because they'll be going through, walking, doing pod counts, and the ones that got dinged got a higher pod count anyway, so I don't know what they're complaining about.
Yeah.
So
Is the pigweed not bad in either one of y'all's areas?
Kochia is probably my number one
Yeah.
problem.
yeah, we're pigweed and water hemp. We're same situation down here. So.
And so I'm far enough west that
Pigweed and water hemp's your number
giant
one.
rag and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
I've
Yeah.
got a little water hemp, but nothing I can't. And then mare's tail. If I don't do some sort of
Yeah.
like fall residual,
Yeah.
mare's tail's a big problem.
It can be a problem here too.
Yeah.
It's not as like everybody's learned to manage it here now, but
Right.
there was a period of time where 2 or 3 year period of time it probably wasn't as bad as pigweed, but it did pose a challenge till people learned to manage
It
it.
got away from me one year too.
Yeah.
And then I forget the little packets they give you to try to kill it, but it just kind of curls them up, and then
Yeah.
it just stands right back up a couple days
They're
later.
tough.
Yeah.
Once they get established, they're a bear.
Yeah.
Giant ragweed is begun to become more of a problem here.
Yeah.
With its, it just gets massive tolerances.
Right. It's probably almost worse for you with the trees and stuff. Like it probably grows out of the
They
trees.
do. They love to come out of the fence rows,
Yeah.
and they love the shady spots, that aren't 100% sun. Mm-hmm. That plant loves to take sunlight, but it doesn't want all day direct sunlight. So, like when you have those tree lines, and they're casting some shadow out during the day, that's where the giant ragweed wants to be.
Right.
He situates himself in that,
Yeah.
2 to 3 hour shadow window.
So we have burdock, and that's what comes out of our trees is burdock.
What's it? What kind of plant is
It's
it?
kind of just like a big old half cocklebur, half ragweed looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got them little stickers on them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are ditches over there.
It's easy to kill though. It's not.
Yeah, not a difficult
Yeah,
weed to
20
kill.
ounces of Roundup will still.
Yeah, melt it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 40 ounces of Liberty is.
Yeah, we're usually
Nothing.
driving around in the summer cleaning up field edges and trying to clean up the road ditches to make them a little less of a weed population too. So,
Yeah.
but we started, I think back in 2015, I think it was, or 2013. We're putting our pre-emerge on with the planter now. We went away from putting starter on, just doing a broadcast full rate on that, and then variable rate too, I suppose, on the broadcasting side of things too. But noticed a big difference on keeping the fields cleaner, having that pass right behind the planter, and giving us a little bit more time to come back in before we had to come with our posts.
Yeah.
So keeps it a little cleaner. So
I saw that spraying setup you put on your
Yeah.
planter.
yeah, we rigged that up when we bought that CCS 3-4 years ago. There
Yeah.
works pretty decent.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of things going on. Fertilizer and
Yeah.
spraying and planting all in one trip.
yeah, so we go on and we'll run our pre-emerge out the back, and that's what our saddle tanks are for.
Yeah.
And then
That's not for water in furrow to get it going.
no. You could put it in furrow, but you're gonna have a crappy stand. But then we put on for corn and soybeans out of the back, so we gotta do basically a clean out every time we switch crops. So
Have you ever thought about that, Barrett?
What's that? Fertilizing my crops?
No, not. We're not going that deep. Just
Okay.
getting like 6,000 gallon saddle tanks and
yeah,
putting water in.
Put
furrow.
water in furrow.
Yeah.
in
Get
for
started.
water and your
Give it a chance, or do you think it'd bake it?
It'd probably I wouldn't bake it. It'd just swell and die.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help you out.
Or I'm gonna have to put all 6,000 gallons out on each through. Have to refill every round.
Day 47, still planting.
Still in the same 60 acres.
Yeah, still in the same half section.
Yeah, and then I'd pump all my wells off, so then I couldn't irrigate with the pivot.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, but you got it up.
Yeah,
That's step one.
that's step one.
Yep.
Y'all be planting pretty soon, won't you?
No, we're mid-May,
I got you.
but I'm looking at doing some long staple cotton this year. So the plant date on that's April 30th.
Yeah.
So we may be in the field a little early this time.
What's the difference? But
The staple length, so the
Okay.
length of the fiber. We grow short staple upland cotton. That's what's always been grown out there, but you get paid a premium for that long staple stuff.
What is it used for?
You're going to get me lying. But like bed sheets and everywhere else grows long staple stuff. Other
Okay.
parts of the world. So we're going to try some of it.
Yeah. The like most of Texas cotton goes to what?
Denim. I don't know. It goes to China, and then who knows? But
Yeah.
Denim, t-shirts, socks, stuff like that.
Right.
But like high quality sheets, towels, stuff like that is usually long staple
Okay.
stuff.
So explain to us the like once you have the crop out of the field and you take it to the gin, then what happens?
It goes to a warehouse in Lubbock, which is a part of we gin at Co-op Gin, so it's a co-op warehouse in Lubbock, and then it'll sit there until it gets, I'll sell it. I just sold some cotton last week from last year, but it'll eventually get shipped out and go overseas.
Like in a bale type.
Yeah. So it's in a, roughly 500-pound bale out of the gin. And that's what goes and sits in the warehouse.
And then it goes to Bangladesh or wherever.
Yeah, wherever.
Yeah. And they, I guess, loom it or whatever from there.
Yeah, see, I'm one of the farmers that I don't know what happens after it leaves my field. So you're going to get me lying to you. But
You could just make it up. We're not going to know.
yeah, so
nobody
like it'll go
knows.
to a
Yeah.
spinnery, and that's where they get it down into thread. And
Yeah.
so I did do the Cotton Incorporated tour. It's been 6 or 7 years ago now in Raleigh, and went through their spinnery and all that. It was really interesting to see. But
I've always wondered like how it goes from a bowl to a t-shirt
Yeah.
or a pair of jeans.
I can show you some videos after.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of videos and photos in there. It was really cool to see. But there used to be a denim mill about 50 miles north of where I'm at that was kind of co-op owned, and you could buy a pair of jeans and it would tell you on the tag where that cotton came from. So I mean, there's guys that have jeans that were made out of their cotton,
Oh, that's neat.
but there wasn't enough of a market, and they shut it down. That's been 10 or 12 years ago when they shut it down. So
That's unfortunate.
How much cotton does it take to make a pair of jeans?
man, I can't remember. A bale of cotton can do like 1,500 t-shirts.
Really?
Yeah, which will really piss you off. That's one reason I don't
Yeah.
want to know, because if I'm selling that bale of cotton for
Yeah.
right now 80 cents a pound,
Yeah.
and then they're going to go make 1,200 t-shirts out of it.
That's how I feel about selling my wheat
yeah.
Yeah.
for $5.50, and
Yeah.
they're going to make a loaf of bread that,
Yeah.
85
loaves. Or
85
whatever.
loaves of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And make $85 a bushel or
Yeah.
$160 a bushel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they want to nickel and dime you for 5 cents Valma or something.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or they
Right.
reject it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But I should get enough cotton for me to make a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Do they come with an accent?
would cost you about $3 probably.
$2.50 is best I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, they're selling every one of those T-shirts $4 or $5 a pop.
Yeah, but then you think about blue jeans. I may be completely wrong, but I think it's like 600 or 700 pairs of blue jeans.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I may be way off.
Yeah, and some of those
But
blue
it's-
jeans now are like even Levi's. Those things are expensive.
Yeah. $50 to $100 for
Yeah.
a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
You can still get them for $27.99 at Tractor Supply.
Can you?
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing today.
The Carhartt.
Not when
No,
you're built like me, you can't.
Levi's.
Oh, Levi's.
Levi's, yeah.
Oh, I need to go to Tractor Supply to buy my Levi's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been buying from their website, and their website's high.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe it's just like state tax differences or something.
maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, not when you're 6'12",
Yeah.
5'18".
Your Barret can't find jeans.
Yeah, right. It's not gonna flood today, Brett.
So how many? You do make a lot of passes on that cotton.
It it depends. We're no-till on all our irrigated.
Okay.
So depending on the year, this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but we may or may not pre-fertilize depending on what it's going to look like. But on a typical year, which isn't real typical anymore, we'll pre-fertilize, hit it with some burn down, run the planter, sling out some fertilizer, and then there's some post-emerge passes, but we're usually spraying growth regulator. But as far as tillage, we're usually not making any passes.
It's mostly just passes with the sprayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, help me understand the cotton. So, you make it grow and then you make it stop.
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, shut the growth down so it'll fruit up and
Okay.
start putting its energy to producing bowls. And
So how do you know grow or woe?
you look at the nodes between the branches. Basically, you start watching those, and if they start stretching out too much, you go in and hit it with. We still call it picks, but with the growth regulator.
Right. And it just stops the growth where it's at right there.
But it'll slow it down.
Right.
Yeah, I've never got it to stop.
Yeah, it just slows the growth down.
Yeah.
We're messing with PGRs and soybeans a little bit, and I haven't been able to get my hand on exactly if what we're doing with it yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can. I mean, depending on the varieties, some of them will just, depending on the weather and stuff, they'll slow themselves down. But there was in 18, I tried a new variety, and I let it get away from me. I wasn't timely on that place with my growth regulators, and I actually had to hire a picker to come in. The plants got too big for us to strip it.
really,
Yeah, we pulled in we still had basket machines then, so we pulled in and built one module, and it was all sticks, basically. And so we packed up and left and called in a picker.
yeah, it's interesting.
Have you ever tried PGRs on your wheat?
I do Palisade, which is that
yep,
to shorten it a little bit.
Yep.
One of our problems here is we get we'll get really lush wheat and then it gets tall because of the sunlight.
Yeah.
And then it wants to get lazy on us.
Yep. Yep.
And we can throw Palisade on our first fall or spring herbicide application.
Yep.
And as long as you get it on early enough, it'll usually shorten it enough that you won't have that lodging problem.
Yep. Yep. So I've used it some too.
Used to around here, we'd get 40% of the crop lodged.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A
lot of the seasons.
Yeah.
Or
There's
more.
plenty of years you go mile an hour one direction, turn around.
Oh yeah.
Mile an hour one direction.
Yeah, deadhead.
Yep. Yep.
I remember it was the Katrina and Rita year where those two hurricanes come in back to back, and we're close enough to the Gulf here that hurricane can be here in about 7 hours from the Gulf.
Yep.
And they were still just rolling when they hit. And it just flattened our corn crops here, and it blew them all one direction.
Yeah.
And I spent the whole entire season driving one way.
One direction. Yeah.
It was an unfortunate corn harvest.
Right. Right.
We did end up picking a lot of it up. Most people did, but it was it's bad enough to go back and forth.
Yeah. Some days it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It always seems like every year we have at least some acres blow over. It just nature of the beast where we're at.
Yeah.
Some days the wind will just blow 90 miles, literally 90 miles an hour, like down in your neck of the woods.
Well,
No storm, no nothing, just a 90 mile an hour wind.
That's crazy.
And it's dumb.
What was it, 21 when we had that big one come through and did all the damage on I think it was 21.
Well, those were storms, though.
It was storms, but we had one day where like the wind picked up to 60 in the morning, died off. Wind picked up to 60 in the afternoon. And it's like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a bunch of storms roll through that year. It just was a weird spring. So
Did the derecho come through y'all's area?
we got some of it at ours.
You did?
Yeah, I went to.
Not like that big derecho that was down in Iowa, but we've had a few roll through.
Right.
That could be just a random spring day.
Barret showing me a picture of a dust storm, and
Is that a haboob?
It's not a
Say-
haboob.
say
That
it,
is a
Barret.
West Texas sandstorm.
That's
So
a
you
haboob.
you can see the blue sky, and like as tall as in the atmosphere as you can see is the sand.
Yep.
So we got to kind of witness a baby one when Moen and I went down there the last time.
That's in the middle of it.
Oh, that looks nice.
And then
You don't imagine, yeah.
It's exfoliating.
Yeah. How much your eyes burn after you're in there.
Like you got hit with a sandblaster.
Yeah.
Right.
and then that's it from the air.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like an ocean of sand.
Well, the good ones are when it comes in like that in front of a storm cloud, and then it starts raining mud.
Mm-hmm.
Those raindrops start catching that sand in there, and it's raining mud drops.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the street lights will come on in the middle of the day from them.
Take your neighbor's fertilizer and gives it to you, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we
their
just
palm-
trade land back and forth.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yep.
So, do y'all cover crop after the cotton's removed?
Yeah, on our irrigated, I try on dry land. It's just not as consistent, but behind all our irrigated is cut in half acre wise. farm it on half circles, and we follow every cotton crop with wheat. And I've cut 90 acres of wheat in my career, but I usually will bale or mostly graze it. And so the stuff we just planted last fall will either be grazed or I'll bale it up for hay, and then that ground will sit until next May, like May of 25, and I'll plant my cotton into it.
Yeah.
So because of reasons like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to lose your soul to that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose your soil, you don't want to lose your crop, but the expense. So, and my senior year in high school, or the year I graduated, 03, Dad went no-till. He just dove off in head first, converted every irrigated acre to it. I'm sorry, that was the next year. In 03, I spent a solid week on 1/4 sand fighting. I'd go across it, it'd shower that night, I'd go across it, and I spent a week just back and forth trying to keep that place from blowing.
So people that don't know what sand fighting is.
Sand fighting is and you can sand fight maybe twice, and then you got to go pitch it out and bust your middles back out and build your beds back up. So they're just reels we run that kick up clods, and you got to do it right behind the storm or it'll dry out too much. So yeah, we're just out there trying to prevent the sand from blowing. So yeah, you can lose your crop. That's terrible, but time on the hours on the tractor, the fuel we were burning, steel we were wearing out, it just got to where it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of guys that still farm that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch a couple of them on there fighting sand all the time with those things.
And we still do on dry land and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it sucked farming back then.
I'm wondering if farming's sustainable right now.
I don't know how sustainable we are in West Texas anymore.
Yeah.
But
It's the same way here. Like, if everybody could maybe turn a small profit with the way commodities have been, but the commodities take a total dump, and rents have not come down, and the land value's just skyrocketing. So
Well, then even the cost of the equipment. I mean,
yeah.
I think our deer dealer now is $200 an hour on trade-in.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, if you're doing custom work, you're paying through the nose to even have your ground custom.
Yeah, I'm pushing 5,000 hours on that sprayer.
Yeah.
I went to, I let Fent and Deer and Case all bid a sprayer,
Yep.
and I think I bought that sprayer in 2017. I think I give almost $400,000 for it or something like that. And hell, it won't even make a down payment good on one now. It's just insane.
It's crazy.
It is.
So,
The Rogators what really shocked me. I could not believe how much that thing was.
yeah.
I mean, it's a nice sprayer, but almost $1 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with those Haggies too. I mean, those things are just astronomical on the price too.
820,000.
Is that what a Haggie is?
Yeah.
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 That's the price range of the Rogator.
I could still buy a Patriot for under 5 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
could trade
think
mine for under 5.
435 or something like that for the 100-foot one with 100-foot booms. And,
Yeah.
And
So that'd be spec'd out like mine, my
Yeah.
3340.
yeah.
And that's where we come in on our side. We pay for ours through a custom guy. I mean, we can make a lot of custom passes for a $700,000-800,000 sprayer.
Yeah, for sure.
For our acres,
Yeah.
And we usually try, if we can, only do one pass,
Yeah.
unless we got aphids or bugs or something. But we're not doing any fungicide passes usually.
Yeah.
So, but
Y'all aerial applicate the fungicide.
a lot of guys do, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we haven't really dove
Into
that. We haven't really seen the need for it yet.
Most of the time, we want it to die.
Yeah.
We don't want it
We don't
to
want
stay
to
healthy.
extend it.
Yeah, you don't want to extend it out.
Right. Because it's nice when you're in September or October and your corn's 20%, and then you get further in October and you're bending it at 15.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
We have southern rust here, so
Okay.
it just like if you don't spray fungicide, you just lose the crop.
yeah.
As soon as our southern winds start kicking up out of the Gulf, and usually in late May or June, you'll start to see the spores show up. And if you're not covered by then,
Right.
by the end of July, your corn's done.
Toast.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing up by us is not so much the corn. I think it's more or less the soybeans.
Yeah.
Get rid of that mold possibility and stuff like that. But so.
Y'all doing fungicide on your soybeans? Or?
No, not for a few years now.
Yeah.
So we've done it with just the pre-emerge on the planter, one post, and if we need to for a bug, that's about it.
Yeah.
So, and our aphid pressure last year was surprisingly low. So, but So we ended up being lucky. We didn't have to do a 2-pass on that one. So
On your cotton, you do custom, custom spraying on that, or you have your own?
We have our
applicators?
own machine.
Yeah. I guess custom would get so expensive with so many passes.
Yeah, it would. I don't know, my 3rd or 4th year in, I sat down to figure what I was going to spend in custom that year because I was getting big enough. We couldn't handle it with Dad's machine, and it was cheaper for me to just go make a down payment.
Yeah.
So I got into my own machine then, and since then we've just upgraded Dad's. Went to one of these R's, and
Yeah.
we can handle it all with one self-propelled, and then I have a pull top sprayer we'll use for burn down on fallow ground and
Right.
stuff.
What are custom rates down there?
I don't know.
Because they're like $5 an acre cheaper in Minnesota.
yeah, we're paying a guy I think like $6 or $7.
They're 9 here,
Yeah.
or just
And
for
they're $10.50 plus a fuel surcharge.
yeah,
Where I'm at.
10.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus fuel.
If you went through the co-op, it's higher, but we got a custom guy that just bought his own machine and doing acres for everybody, so
Yeah.
he's a little cheaper. And then we on the side do drainage tile too, so that's a little kicker that we do to
Yeah.
get the bills down.
You had to offset
Yeah.
the cost of the application.
Just trading horses.
Yeah, right.
So
Since 2016, I don't know anybody that's doing custom spraying.
Really?
When we got dicamba cotton out,
Yeah.
it kind of put all the planes out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's still some out there, but I don't know of any custom guys.
The local co-op won't even spray dicamba. They'll do it for like a pre-burn down, but that's it. And
Yeah,
then
like once the crops are in the field, there.
yeah, they won't even touch it anymore.
yeah, and same for our custom guy. He won't spray dicamba anymore either. So that's why we made the move to Enlist.
Yeah.
So
He was still spraying list.
we'll still spray Enlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all Enlist soybeans or E3s.
Does that take care of your pigweed pretty good?
It's hit or
Hit or
miss.
miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the year, time of day, but it's just
Yeah.
You got to get like 40 ounces of Liberty, 3
Yeah.
pounds AMS, a little MSO, smokes it.
Yeah.
go down, turn them little beans
20 gallons
brown.
to the acre.
Does
Just hog
the
it.
does the enlist bean, does it come with a stack like with the Liberty like dicamba, or is it just
Yeah.
enlist only?
Yeah, no, it's Enlist,
stack.
Liberty, Roundup.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
stack. Yeah.
Yeah.
E3. And they should be coming out, well, now that they've off-labeled, who knows what they're going to do, but they were talking about coming out with dicamba, Liberty, Enlist all together.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was the plan
Yeah,
for the pipeline. you know.
right. Which would have been great because
Yeah.
then nobody could have.
And that would solve a lot of the problem.
It really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd give you so many different options. You know,
Yeah.
if you had a neighbor that you couldn't spray dicamba around, it gives you an option to use something else.
Well, that's where everybody up around us, everybody's getting a pissing match because the drift on the dicamba.
Yeah.
So then you can't get into the can't get into
Little more, you're going to get him going.
Barret down there drifting everybody out.
yeah, he's,
I don't know how that may be an off-air topic.
he's trying to make raisins out of the local orchards down there.
Yeah, Barrett's Sunmaid's inside guy.
You got some orchards close by?
No, we've got vineyards.
I got
Great
you.
vineyards.
Great vineyards.
Yeah, it's a little sore subject right now.
Do you happen to hit a grape vineyard?
No,
Oh. They're
I
just,
don't know anybody
Yeah.
that has hit a vineyard.
Oh, but they're fussed up about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we just like to
Lawsuits
make
and-
accusations.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's, we don't have any orchards here in this county, but right across the river in Illinois, you know, they do. And it's been a problem over there with those guys. And I don't think any of those have really been hit either, you know.
Right.
But they'd love to kick up a fuss about it.
Yeah.
The potential, I guess, of hurting their orchard.
Oh no, there's a. It's well, they are claiming potential losses, but it's a fiasco back
Like,
home.
what are they saying?
They're saying that all their vineyards are dying off.
And it's being caused by dicamba?
That's the claim.
Not the haboob that blows sand.
Yeah,
out
not
of
the not the freezes or the hail damage or you know, not the stuff they're getting paid for on insurance. but,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, not the dust cloud that goes all the way up to the upper atmosphere.
Yeah. And you know,
Strips
they're-
the leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, they're all dying off, but they're still putting them in,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
Adding to the vineyards.
Yeah. The vineyards are growing. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think those people that have got into those like vineyards and stuff, you know, didn't come from the traditional farm background. So
They did back home.
really,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even a couple little small ones up by us. I mean, they got a farming background, and then they have a few acres of grapes.
Really?
So
I think the biggest problem is people just don't have enough to do, so they need something to be mad about.
exactly.
I've got a whole theory on it, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it on here.
Yeah. They're not out trying to subsistence farm and survive anymore. Everything's too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the theory?
I'll say it off air.
We want to hear it on air.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Drive them views, Barret. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. The listeners are just pining. I can hear them already.
Well, my main issue is I don't know if I'm going to get wrapped up in it. So there was about 40 farmers that got subpoenaed 2-3 weeks ago now. So the grape growers sued Bayer. They sued them down in, I think, Jefferson County, which is down by Houston. Bayer got the trial moved back to Lubbock and then turned around and subpoenaed about 40 farmers for all their receipts and all their spray records back to 2015.
Wow.
And so the rumor is there's going to be more guys drug into that. So I don't know how much I want to.
Yeah, probably not a lot.
Yeah.
Like on your spray records, how long are you supposed to keep them?
Yeah, I thought just 3 years.
TDA is 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
thought. So, I mean, like, that's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
To keep.
I just threw away my 2013, 2014, 2015 records. Now I'm kind of concerned maybe I should have kept them.
As long as you're not farming by a vineyard in Terry County,
I
you
just
should
say-
be all right.
I just
You're in
burned-
South Dakota, but nobody cares.
I just burned them all. I got audited once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. It's no fun.
Yeah, I've been audited here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun.
No, you just sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the EPA guy, you know, he was a super nice guy and a gentleman about it or whatever, but
Right.
like he looked at everything, you know.
So that was actually back when they first kind of labeled the Extend beans for dicamba, and guys were spraying it just to beat hell, and that was kind of before we knew that it didn't really hurt the enlist beans that much. So everybody had puckered up, just terrible looking bean fields, and everybody was calling everybody.
Well, yeah, it's the road farmers that go out
Yeah.
and look at
Calling the Department
watch them
of
cup
Ag.
up from the road. And,
Yeah,
well, you did.
Don't even walk out
yeah,
into them. You know?
did way
Yeah.
more damage. So, No, it's
So
It's really
only
not-
one time I think that it actually hurt something. That was 2019, but it was so wet and cold too.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
could never grow out of it. You know,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
just saturated, and that was probably the only time that.
was it 2019 up there that had it was so cold that Liberty kind of quit working.
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
We didn't have the humidity that we used to have. And
Yeah.
So it's like spraying Liberty in West Texas.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you're in a dry climate.
Does Liberty not work at all in your area?
It does if you can get the conditions right.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have very many days that meet that.
Yeah.
The
The right
criteria,
criteria.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then 2019 was the year we had all that prevent up there too. Well, I think everybody had prevent in 19.
Yeah.
So
I left like 30% of our acres
yeah,
Really?
unplanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. We couldn't touch them till 2020.
Yeah, it's just so wet.
Yeah, they were
yeah.
just.
I didn't know there was such a thing as preventative plant
Yeah.
until I started talking to these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have ground you can't touch because it stays wet too long.
So I was talking to Dan, and this was the first year ever that he's had to turn in prevent plant claims in his part of Texas. Or was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Or was it this last spring? He
No.
got 14 inches. He got like 14
Yeah,
inches.
that
of
was
rain in
last
there.
year.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Okay.
Yeah.
That
He
was
had
the-
those
23.
big ponds in the
yeah,
fields.
that was
or
the
whatever.
first time that he ever to use it.
Yeah.
And then you'll see me out with my air seeder drilling through potholes in the fall, winter wheat, you know.
Yeah.
It was
was all-
interesting watching Texas boys try to farm like us. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah,
farm
they
the
didn't know
mud.
what to think about that, did they?
Yeah, I did enjoy
This
that.
is the true story. In 21, I pulled into some dry land, conventional till, beds listed up, and I called my dad. That was my 12th crop at that point, and I called my dad and said, "Will you come check this planter?" Like I'd never set a planter in good wet dirt like that. Like I think I've got it right, but I need somebody that's done this before to come check this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both had to drive down to Texas, set up his planter for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
I kept
Like,
telling
you
him.
mean there's supposed to be mud scrapers on these opening discs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure them gauge wheels are tight.
So the dicamba moves up there.
Yeah, it'll pick up and move like the next day. It seems like. So
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be on label one day. Next conditions are terrible, and it'll move on you. It just seems like
Well, just check the weather 3 or 4 days out.
Well, I'm not in the sprayer, so I tell them to spray on the day that needs to be sprayed.
Volatilization.
It's funny, you know, like the ag world it's like so diverse, you know, and everybody wants to put it in like a little box and says,
Oh, yeah.
you know, this practice works great in my area, so it should also work great in yours.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed too,
But it
you know,
should, right?
when we're on Instagram and we're talking to all these people and making new connections and networking and going down to the farm show and talking to everybody has pert near the same problem. It's just on a different scale.
Right.
So, but it's just interesting to see that everybody's pretty much in the same boat, even when you're not.
Yeah. Everybody's dealing with a different, you know,
Yeah.
a different specific problem, but we all have problems.
Yeah. It's nice to know that everybody's got a problem.
Yeah.
But then last night we met the cool Briggs.
The better Briggs.
The better Briggs.
I'm like maybe 50% sure that we're related because my Briggs side moved to North America in the 1600s to escape persecution from a stolen horse. And Joe Briggs from Australia, his relatives moved to Australia because they stole a bunch of bread. So I'm like halfway convinced that we're 25th cousins.
Same family.
Yeah.
He's other side of the world. He's growing 40-inch cotton.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've never talked to anybody from anywhere outside of West Texas that was facing a lot of the same things that we are. It was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's can they grow 2 crops, or they're just
I don't know that
I didn't ask
answer.
that question
Yeah.
last night.
Mostly just one.
one crop?
Because he was wheat and cotton, right?
Wheat, canola, and
Yeah,
cotton.
Yeah.
some canola.
And rice. They grow some rice.
They don't have a strong winter there, do they?
Not really.
I didn't think they did.
No. And I'm kind of just making some of this up, so I'm sure somebody will tell me that I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
the Australians know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll let me know.
We'll
Yeah,
hop in your DMs and let you know.
right. Don't worry, they'll tell me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll tell you.
Yeah, they always do.
What is it? It's at Briggs C1992.
Yeah. Check me out. Send me some loving, caring things.
Tell them how you really feel.
Right.
Can anybody be loving on there? It's mostly
I
like,
mean, I'm pretty nice. I never troll anyone. It's falling.
Oh,
the trolls love to come out.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, I just have like 2 or 3 regulars, you know.
Yeah, regular trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I do, it's wrong.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, what about this steak story?
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell my side of it before they totally throw me under the bus?
No, let them tell their side, and then you
Okay.
can tell yours.
All right.
yeah. We'll tell the truth first.
Yeah. You get the Briggs version later.
He ordered a
Version.
prime rib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A rib.
He ordered a prime ribeye,
Yeah.
and they brought him a fillet, and he threw a fit because he didn't want to pay for the fillet.
Nope. I didn't throw a fit.
Yeah.
I just said I didn't want to pay $23 more for a fillet because it was $88. 65 was enough, right? For a
So
ribeye.
they bring him a whole nother plate with a ribeye on it, and he didn't have to pay for either one of them.
All I asked the lady was if she could, as long as I didn't have to pay fillet price, I was fine. Yeah, and she even owned the mistake, and then they brought me a whole nother meal.
Yeah.
So see where that gets you? See where being proactive gets you? 2 steaks, Barret.
Some people call it
2.
whiny. Some
Did-
people call it proactive.
I was nice about it.
Did
I
they
don't
take
know.
the fillet?
no, he had already
they let me
eaten it.
No, I didn't. No, I said it. I left it on my plate until she came back because I'm like, I'm not eating this until I know for sure I don't have to pay fillet price for it.
Well, I made the comment too. It's almost like dealing with my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old. You know, you bring them something that they asked for, and it's a little different than what they asked for, and they throw a fit until you get it absolutely right. And then they're just so proud and happy when they get it right.
It's like I didn't want SpaghettiOs. I wanted ABCs
Exactly.
with meatballs.
None of this is true.
Yeah.
This is slander.
It's like, it was like that movie
Yeah.
Waiting. It's like
Yeah.
we don't doubt that it was wrong, but did you have to eat the whole thing before you complained about it?
Yep.
Yeah, you two can expect to be in a defamation lawsuit here pretty soon.
That's fine.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
That's fine. If you want
Yeah.
to take on all my debts, you can have it. Because that's about all you're going to get.
I kind of hope somebody steals my credit. Maybe I'll end up with better
Help
ones.
you out a little bit.
I think it's kind of mutual. We all sort of take care of, it's like 3 kids. Because I told you to bring your cooler in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then he had no mellow yellow.
Yeah.
So I had to go get him mellow yellows at the gas
I left
station.
they valeted the pickup and left it in the parking lot.
Yep.
And I thought I was going to get it the next day, and then we ended up hopping in with another buddy and Ubering everywhere, so I couldn't get my drinks. So
Do they have mellow yellow here?
They do. Yeah. All right.
Now this time it's actually falling off. The last time it was just settling.
Did we have that piece of wood?
Yeah, but it was too wide.
Try the metal puller.
You want me to stop it?
Don't start by the mouse again.
This is karma.
Mm-hmm.
For making fun of Barret.
Lying about your steak.
Yeah. I don't think they were gonna charge you for the extra fillet. You probably would have got a fillet for ribeye price.
That's pretty good.
That little board that I brought in was too wide.
Or too wide, yeah.
You need a smaller piece.
We need a podcast.
I know that, but I don't have one, so we got to make do.
See if that'll stay.
There
That
we
looks
go.
better.
You guys are at about.
Yeah, mellow yellow.
Yep.
I had my
What's that?
first.
You're at about 47 minutes.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more.
I had my first mellow yellow yesterday, and I started talking with a Minnesota accent, so I threw it in the trash.
Yeah, he did. He was catching a little bit of that FBS.
Yep.
Yep.
I think, like the most popular one here is Mountain Dew, probably.
Yeah.
But there is quite a bit of mellow yellow, and then there was a regional drink called Sundrop. Do
Oh,
have, Do you have that?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Sundrop.
Yeah.
We don't.
Madison Bottling up by us is one that had it up there. So
Yeah.
we're predominant Sundrop up in our area.
Yeah.
So
You guys have just like you walk into the gas station in Texas and there's just one cooler dedicated to Dr. Pepper.
yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, is that the popular one down there?
It's from Texas.
I got you.
Yeah.
It started in Waco, so
Yeah. Waco's got all kinds of stuff, don't they?
yeah.
In E-Town.
Not so much anymore because of those stupid silos, but
Yeah.
it's but yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
No.
We've rambled all we can ramble.
I think so.
Thanks for listening to the Agriculture Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe.